Even if the danger isn't directed at you, you've got to take the steps necessary to protect yourself when it comes at you. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson out of Florida. It shows us one of the craziest armed robberies that I've seen in a long time in a pawn shop in West Park, and teaches us some important lessons about being a bystander in a deadly force encounter, about putting shots on target if you're armed, and about getting out of the danger zone as fast as you can. So you see these two guys walking in, especially the guy in white here, and he pulls a gun and his partner comes in right behind him, and now a gunfight starts. Now the news story, if you go read the news story, says that the employee fired back at him and then ran out the back. And now these guys are trying to get some stuff, finish this fight with the guy, but it's a controlled access pawn shop, so the door is locked from the inside. Notice that there's a couple of other customers that are in the store, one that's laying right now at the bottom of our screen, and another one who is off on the top left right now, trying to hide from these guys pointing guns at them. Now they're just trying to escape and get the heck out of the place. Try this little back room, there's no way there. There's bars on the windows, but these guys are gonna be able to actually squeeze between the bars and the glass case. The bigger guy has a little harder time than the little guy, and then they run out the back and get away, and the police are still looking for them. As far as I know, this one ends right here. A couple of lessons out of this one I really wanna pay attention to, mostly for the bystanders in this particular instance. First of all is that launch out of ambush. As a self-defender, you are always going to be on defense. You are always going to be surviving the ambush against that initial attack, and surviving that ambush has to be the first choice. Notice a couple of bystanders here right next to the counter, and they get down and get away, natural inclination, and a really good one. Notice here that we see a guy in a blue sweatshirt on the left. We see another guy here down on the bottom right. And thankfully, these robbers aren't looking to give them a hard time. And right now you can see that the door is still open in the top. And so that's okay, that's good. However, when that door closes, it's controlled access. And so the bad guys are stupid. We know that for sure. But they're gonna have to try to get out of here. And now that puts the bystanders at risk as well, which is why I tell you, carry your firearm. Make sure that you're ready to protect yourself in that moment, because just because these people who are bystanders weren't necessarily targeted here doesn't mean that in frustration, the armed robbers couldn't have used them as bargaining chips. Thankfully, that didn't happen here, but that's why I say you are responsible for you in a defensive encounter. Next, vet your security measures. This one's kind of funny to me that these bars are on this, this pawn shop to keep the employees safe, but what they just found out here with a little bit of a pressure test is that that safety feature was more security theater than actual security, because this guy, who is a little bit of a bigger guy, was able to slide between the case and the bars without any problem. So make sure that you test your security features with somebody who might try to get rid of them. I did this with my son. I remember once when he got locked out of the house and asked him to break in. It took him about 10 seconds to break into my house, and I went, okay, time to revamp the security measures. These guys get out of the way. Thankfully, nobody gets harmed. We don't have to think about all the first aid or anything like that, but let's learn the lessons about being our own first responder, getting out of the danger zone, vetting our security procedures, and covering our ass.